Hello and welcome to another episode of Around the AFI, brought to you by the Talkin Balls team of myself and our very own wish, Rand Fitzpatrick, Robert Newman. Joining us,
Thanks.
you like that there? Joining us this week is Mr. Dan Finke, defensive captain of the Mavs, who has 8 rushing touchdowns this year at running back, 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and a pick 6 from linebacker this season. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing pretty good. How's yourself now?
I'm awesome, buddy, awesome. Because it's bowl game, we have decided to have one from each team. So we also have running back from the Vikings, who also throws the ball sometimes. And he has 7 passing touchdowns for 467 yards and 9 rushing touchdowns for 482 yards this season. It's Mr. Finn O'Donovan. How are you, sir?
Not too bad yourself.
Awesome. So with 2 bowl winning players, bowl players, let's just say they're bowl losers from last year, to be fair. No offense. But so guys, how did you get into the sport? And what's your team? We'll go with you first, Finn.
So I got into the sport by I watched the Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl and I decided I liked it and got really into it and then looked into if it was played in Ireland, then it was. So I knew I was going to UL, so I decided I'd join up. There was COVID in my first year, so it took me until second year of college, which was last year, to join, but then got going and never looked back.
And who's your team? Who do you follow?
I follow the Chiefs because they won that Super Bowl.
Glory hunting fluffer. Serious? And what about yourself, Dan Finke?
I got into it about 7 years ago. My older brother and now offensive coach, Aaron Finley. He was walking through our local supermarket, our local store, big shopping centre, and Mavericks had a recruitment table set up, and they seen Aaron walking past. He said, "Hey, you want to play with the Mavericks?" At the time, me and Aaron were playing for in athletics. Aaron was javelin thrower. I was a bit of multi-eventer. So we turned up to the recruiting session that they had for rookies that year, and we kind of rocked up going national football, throw a ball about. I suppose for someone from a throwing background, as you do, you rock up, you grab a football and you start throwing bombs, whether you're a linebacker, cornerback, lineman, safety, it doesn't matter, you just pick the ball and start throwing it. That was about 7 years ago, and that same year then we took us all the way to the finals, so it's kind of been going strong since then. Support wise, I went with the Eagles. I started following them the year before they won the Super Bowl, so it's not as bad.
Oh yeah, you weren't the glory hunter, where is that what you're trying to say?
Not quite as bad as Finn, but the year before.
That's it. Just when they were starting to get good.
Yeah.
So Rob has a wee question for you.
Get his mic going.
That's it. Get this mic going. Oh, it's muted, mate. It doesn't even work.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be loud. There's nothing I can do about it, Neil. Okay?
Let's go. No, it's grand. Yep.
Right. So the first question is, it's not really directed towards anyone, but it's just saying, so there must be a lot of pressure going into your next game, obviously in the bowl. It is directed, so do the Mavs feel like you have something to prove based off obviously losing Division 2 last season?
There's pressure with every game, and then when you come to the final, obviously it's all eyes on you. You've got ourselves going with 7-1 and Vikings going with 8-0, so both teams have the pressure on them. You've got Vikings going for redemption, but for Mavs, we lost out to the Jets last year. The Rays lost last year, I can't remember which one. And that was Division 2, and we got promoted 2 teams up. Well, finally you want to win it, regardless. Doesn't matter what the record is. It's just 11 guys in the shirt, so we're 100% going out for the win regardless. Get promoted again up into the SBC is on he's on the list.
And the person stopping you is right across from you here. That's it. What about you, Finn? Do you think you've used anything to prove after winning or losing last year as well?
Yeah, I mean, we've a lot to prove because we came in and we were winning that match for 3 quarters, and then me not knowing the rules of special teams kickoffs completely just lost us the match because they got the ball then on the 20. I don't know if you knew that, but I thought from kickoff that you could just leave the ball, so they just recovered it, and I didn't have any notion. So
Jesus.
me not knowing the rules lost us the ball. So I'm here trying to get us back, trying to win us the
That's it.
ball. And
Redemption.
Oh,
Yeah.
you thought it was the same rules as a punt then, did you?
yeah,
Is that yeah? Oh, that's killer. I left personally the third quarter because I thought you had it in the bag. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we
I
all
was
left
sho-
the third quarter. Yep.
Yeah, we were all very shocked when we heard that the result, to be honest. So yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay. That's it. Well, now, guys, we both know that you two can run like fluff, right? Have you ever did a 40-yard dash, and what is your times? Because I would like to know who's the quickest between the two of you.
you go first, Dan.
Go ahead there, Dan. What was your time?
Going back to my athletic background, I used to run at 200 and about 24 flat. 40, I'd imagine it'd be under 5. I know you're talking fucking NFL kind of things, but like it's
You never did a 40-yard dash and get timed?
I would have, but like you just go to be the fastest. It doesn't matter who you go against. You just
That's it.
From
Ben, what about you?
No, I don't think I'm that fast, but way back when I was like 18, I did it when I first got into football, and I got a 4.8 was my best, but that was very rough timing. And then I did it again, like after the Razorbacks match with a couple of lads down at the pitch, and I got 4.94. Obviously, rough timing as well, but getting slower.
Oh, Dan, I think you could beat that, rightly.
I'd probably go sub 5 with somebody trying to stop me. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here it's going to be interesting to see who's the fastest, and
We'll have a race after the match. After the
that's
goal.
it. Right. Rob, do you have a question before we move on to the people's questions?
Just about to say, just out of curiosity, do any of you guys have any pre-game rituals? Anything you do to get yourselves ready? Go for you first, Finn, if you want to answer first, and then we'll move on to Dan.
Not really. I kind of like just when I talk to the lads and stuff, and then we get into the locker room, and I kind of just put my earphones in, put my phone away, all of that, and just lock in.
Sit and remember the special teams rules. Lay that over in your head.
That's why I'm off for this year. That's why I had to play quarterback. No special team.
Fair enough. and yourself, Dan, do you have any?
I'd be the same as myself as Ben. Stick the earphones in and kind of get away from it all. One of my main rituals is I'd always go down and pre-game have a walk at the pitch. It wouldn't be like as an inspection or anything, but it kind of gives you a grasp of kind of the atmosphere that you're kind of about to walk into. So just going to the middle of the pitch, go up and down like 20 yards either direction, soak it all in, and just get ready to go to war. Like.
That's it, buddy. That's fine. I think it's Scott and Curtis does that as well. They down around the pitch, don't they?
It's actually impossible to talk to Curtis before a game starts. So he just headphones in, doesn't talk to anyone.
Right, well, guys, we're going on to the people's questions. Okay, so we reached out to the people as we do every week, and we asked them what do you want to ask our guests. So I'll go first with the first question, and it's to Dan. It's from Mcilwaine, and he says, "What's Dan's favorite position?"
I got quite a few over the years. Like when I started, I've gone running back, the end, tight end, receiver, slot, outside linebacker. Like I'm defensive coach this year. Sorry, defensive captain, not even coach. Defensive captain. So I've had an awful lot of fun out on the outside linebacker, but pulled me up onto the end. the end, I have a lot of fun on. It's just an absolute puller on for a block start, and it doesn't matter how big the lineman is, you just get in the space and push him back as far as you can. Like I've got strip sacks, I've got fumble recoveries and all the rest of it. So that outside is a lot of fun.
So you like defensive end best?
Yeah, it doesn't get the same glory as a running back.
That's it. A defensive captain getting what 3 touchdowns in the last the 2 games ago there, the Razorbacks. You know what I
I
mean?
got it almost in the first quarter. I got 2 in the first quarter and then started second. Yeah. So running back, you get a lot more glory out of, but at the end it is fun, especially since you be one of the smaller guys. And you look at a line of linemen and they're all 15 stone and up, some of them 20 stone. You're like, this little guy in the end is going to do nothing, and then
Bish bash bosh.
Yeah,
that's Rob. Rob was a running back, and now he's a defensive end.
Yeah, I love defensive end. I would agree.
Defensive end better.
It's brilliant. It's but I'm not quite below 15 stone. I'm more like 20 stone defensive end. So yeah, but I do really enjoy it as well. But we done with that one, Neil? Then yeah.
Yes, mate. Your turn.
Cool. So yeah, this one's for both of you. So we'll start off with Finn again. Just go left to right. What's the favourite team you've played against this season? And that's from, I'm going to assume David Lynch, but he's put it down as Lavid Dinch. So.
David Lynch. You think he's just enter for the Wexford Eagles?
My favourite team I played against. I mean, you couldn't get a better match than the Mavericks, really, because like just tight the whole way through, and it was the first time we had gone down all season when we went down by 6 points, and then to persevere and pull through, like that was a really enjoyable match, and it's a good matchup, and like the teams were very even, so I would have to say the Mavericks.
Okay, cool.
Sorry. I like
go ahead, no, far away.
Because their defense is good, so just going up against good defenses, like I enjoy it.
Test yourself. That's it. That's what you always want to do.
Yeah, and yourself, Dan?
Favorite team is hard to pick out. If you want to take it from a scoring perspective, the Jets, we put up a huge score against them. By second half, you're having great practice. Snap after snap. You're approaching the line going, what are we going to do? And you have a bit of banter with them on the pitch and off the pitch. But for competitive edge, yeah, I'd have to say that Vikings game was for both sides something new. It was when both teams kind of hit a bit of a slump where we both had full progression the whole time. It was drive after drive, but it was defense or offense. That was the one time where I was like, this is different. This is unfamiliar territory where you're being stopped a couple of times. So the Vikings will be a good rematch. A good rematch now to put it in the bowl.
I know we all can't wait to see what happens here, like, to be honest. So we have a question from Evan Q99. He's on Instagram. Does Finn think he deserves to get the QB1 spot back from Liam Ryan?
Liam, I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's good, but I think I'll edge him out just about, maybe.
Ooh.
He's our backup. He plays our fourth quarters when they want to take me out. Our coach as well.
That's it. Go ahead there, Robbie.
I've just read one of the questions, and so this is from Matt3_16, and I believe it's for Dan, and he's just asking, is 26 on gear?
I messaged Matt and I said, you know, I'm going to ask this question, don't you? Like, and he was like, I mean it in a really, really good way. Like,
I just seen it and it made me laugh.
I think it's more because you just don't stop and you're just constantly always there.
Yeah.
Running.
It kind of just comes with a bit of hard work and shit. Like you just hit the gym and hate your life. You hate yourself. You're going fucking front line. I'm surprised he's asking 26 because we had D tackle Pat and he was an absolute monster. So I'm not even the biggest guy. Like I said, I'm one of the smaller guys and we got bigger. So if there is gear, it's out there somewhere.
And another one for Finn. It's from Martin L. Rothschild on Instagram. He says, does Finn have third-party medical insurance to cover all the broken ankles this season?
That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, Crusaders hate their ankles. They're just like, there's a couple of cliffs just sliding past. It feels great, but yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get
Nice
that
getting a
insurance.
good run.
Yeah, you have to get that insurance sorted.
Moving on, are we? Are we going to
Keep
level
going,
more?
Robin. Keep going.
Fair enough. So this one's from Jordan Lacey, 99. And it's towards you again, both of you again. So I'm going to start with Finn on the left. So how did you find this year's regular season when compared to last year's?
For us, we had like most of our team was rookies, so we were very kind of not ready coming into the season, and we had a rough start, and we went like, I think our record at the end was 5-3, but we had 2 forfeits, so we like, I don't know if we would have even made it to the playoffs. Well, we probably would have made it to the playoffs, but like the 2 forfeits kind of gave us a good looking record. So this year compared to last year, it's like night and day, where all the rookies are after getting better. Offense, defense, special teams, all 3 phases, we're after upping our game, and it feels good. It's like night and day.
Yep. And yourself, Dan?
Last season we had a record of 7-1 going into the playoffs, and we replicated that this year. Last year we put up big scores, big shutouts, and we went and done it again this year in the division up. Like, after getting promoted, you don't expect to have similar results, not the exact same. Like, and we went and blown out of the water. So what we done last year, and the coaches brought to us as a unit last year and brought it forward into this year and progressed it. To replicate it and have another 7-1 with high scoring games, shutouts, and hit the playoffs again, and now we're in the bowl again, with potential of the promotion. We're making tracks, so regardless of what way this bowl goes, we're on the up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You asked that question, that's Finn. Jason Murphy asked Finn about the sickest gritty he's ever hit.
So that's my friend from home, and we were trying to come up with some celebrations I could do before the season, and my first touchdown, I couldn't do it because it was a QB sneak, and like, you're not going to celebrate a QB sneak. So then my second one hit the gritty after the second touchdown against the Rhinos, and that was my best one, I'd say. Although Liam told me to never do it again.
Yeah, because Rob, would he not get flagged for that?
You can be flagged for that, yes, but we'll not go into it too much because I'm really bored of being asked that question, to be honest.
Like celebrating?
Yeah. Anything more than a high five.
You must get asked it a lot, do you?
I have been asked it a lot this season, even though we only scored 12 points. But anyway, sure.
We celebrated both of them as well.
But yes, I'm trying to find one for Dan again. But as far as I believe, Liam Ryan's question, does Finky prefer playing O or D, has kind of been answered already, or?
So I done 5 years really at slot receiver and running back. It was only in the last 2 years where I progressed onto defense and became a linebacker, and then it was like short time. So I went on to the end. We had a player, I think it was his thumb or his finger, and he jarred just as he went for a rush. I was like, Dan, you go up on the line, and then I went to the end that way. But I'll always be a running back, without doubt. Like, I was kind of withheld last season, because I favoured the defense just to give it experience, give the division we were in and the opportunity to develop as a linebacker. But I'll always be a running back. Can't take it away from me.
So, offense then.
Oh, defense is just more fun, just hitting people.
You know, you don't have to think too much in defense. That's the thing. Like, you just go see ball, go get it.
Just
Yeah.
on the snap, whoever has the ball, poleaxe him. Just that's
Yeah.
it. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, that's what I
So-
like about it too.
Yeah, you don't have to think too much. Adam Wixted 10. He says, I'm interested to know what the transition was like from wide receiver to QB. What elements of playing wide receiver benefited you, Finn? And what elements were habits that he needed to break, and also the toughest part about learning the position?
That's a pretty loaded question.
It is. That's a
Yeah, so going from wide receiver to QB was, I think it was as smooth as possible when I have Liam Ryan there beside me, teaching me, showing me the reins, just transferring yards after catch to rushing was pretty smooth, and then learning how to throw the ball. I kind of tried to learn that when I was getting into football, because that's what when you watch football, that's like the first thing you see, and the lads throwing perfect spirals. So I kind of had a little bit of throwing, but I definitely had to work on that a lot, and it's come along a fair bit. Hence, my low passing touchdowns compared to Mavericks QB. But yeah, I mean, just learning how to throw the ball was probably the hardest part, and I still can't do it well when it's raining. So hopefully it's.
Sure. I tried to do it at flag, mate, and Rob gave me a pile of shade over it, like, because the balls were wet. The balls were wet, mate. It was
You deserved it. You can't throw a ball 20 yards then.
I don't need to throw the ball because it's such a precision up until 15.
Okay, cool.
So it is. You know what I mean? So there's one there for Dan there, Robert.
I know, I was actually had it on the screen, but it's from Aaron Finley. So he says, last time you played in Division 1 final, the Mavericks were crowned champs, and you were named as the game MVP. Do you think history is going to repeat itself?
Yeah, 100%. With all credit to the Vikings, like, we are coming into this for business. You don't turn up and we're traveling, and we ain't going home on a bus quiet. Like, we're going home celebrating. So I'd love another MVP. Like, I've got to compete. I got to compete against QB Nathan Hardy. Between his rushing touchdowns, his scrambling, his decision making, like, he's able to stick off passes, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 25 yards. He put up some big passes against Crusaders. So I reckon he's my competition for MVP for the game. But like, I'll do my best. I can only do on this what the play does. So any opportunity I get, I'll try and take it.
Cool. I love that answer. Loads of confidence.
Yes, I like that there one. So now, right, yep, that's the end of the people's questions, guys. So we're going to talk about last week's games, and I'm going to try something, and hopefully it looks cool as fluff.
I feel like you say that at least once every week.
Screw you, Rob. There we go. It looks cool as fluff.
It's the same thing you did last week, and you said the same
But
thing last
only
week.
it looked cooler. It made it cooler.
Okay,
Cooler.
okay.
Oh, you can see that whole screen. I don't want that to happen. So I'll remove that, guys. It's alright. I'm just going to sort this out. There we go. That's it there. That's it now. That's it now. Right, guys. Last week's games. Yous were there. So yous were too. But we'll get to yous. We'll get to yous. So we will. Admirals against Panthers. 42-0 to the Panthers. Do you think the Panthers just give up and went, fluff is here, Trojans is Dirty Joe this here, or we've Dirty Joe ourselves with transfer gate?
Or maybe they just didn't want to pay the Rebels after all, possibly.
Well, that's it, you know. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? 42-0, Finn?
Yeah, I mean, it's scary to think about, considering what the Rebels put up against the Admirals. that like if the Panthers were now to play the Admirals, and we saw what they did earlier this season, especially with the Panthers having a low low on players, it's just I didn't see it being that big of a difference, but I did see Cork winning.
I actually had the Panthers to win that game. To be honest,
I thought to be confident. I was the same. I thought Panthers
they
would win.
just beat the Trojans, and they were going to be confident going in this game. I thought. What do you think, Dan? What did you think about this one?
I did think the Panthers were going to put up a bit more of a fight. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was going to be on scoring themselves or just keeping the Admirals out that wee bit longer. But the stick 42 and the shutout, that's a pretty dominant performance. I don't know if that was reflected in the game or just in the scoreline, but Admirals are a solid unit to work against. They always have been over the years.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah, that was a mad one. I didn't expect that, and I also, when I'm speaking of games that I didn't expect the Rebels to put 60 points on the Trojans at home.
I don't think anyone did.
I thought the Rebels were going to win, but I thought it might have been a wee bit closer than this. What do you think, Dan?
I think once you get into the rhythm of it and into that scoring hype, you put in one, you put in two, the confidence is just building. With a team like the Rebels, I think once you get going, there's just no stopping them. And for the Trojans to try and lift their head and come back and compete against a team like the Rebels, you really are fighting a losing battle against them, especially since the season the Rebels have had. They've put up monster games and monster scores.
Yep.
Kind of pull yourself out, it'd be an awful challenging battle to go against.
What about you, Finn? Did you see this
Yeah.
not going this way? Like, can anyone beat the Rebels at this stage of the game now? Like,
I don't think anyone's going to beat them. I mean, if you look at Ty Henry's montages or whatever you call them, he puts them up on Instagram. It's just no effort. It just looks so easy for him. I don't know how they do it, especially in Premier Division. And the Trojans are not a weak squad by any means. So put up 60 and leave them with a duck egg is just crazy.
That's it. To travel up to the Trojans and then to put that score up against them, it's just unreal. I don't know.
I didn't expect it. As I said, I thought it would have been maybe five scores, maybe 25-30-0, not 60. Especially with the running clock. It was 45-0 at halftime, I think you said, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. It was 45-0 at halftime. And then that's what happened. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
shows you the difference the running clock makes, though, doesn't it?
Running clock is mental. Destroys 100 score games. So it does. But let's go down to Division 1, where we have our two guys that were playing at the weekend, and obviously the Vikings won 35-0 against the Rhinos. I had the Rhinos winning this game.
I know you did.
I did not. I had the Vikings winning it, so I didn't think you
know what my problem is, right? Which happens a lot with me, right? I need to pick first. Because if I don't pick first and two people's went for the Vikings, I automatically go, now I have to try and pick a different team now because too many people's picked the Vikings, or that's the way my mind works. It's mental, but they put up a better showing against you the first time. Then what changed? Was it because you were at home or what?
So the first time we played them was at home, and we were up 17-0 going into the fourth quarter, and they just brought it back. I think our minds shut off. And then the second time we played them was in their pitch, and the pitch is just atrocious. Neither side could run. So this was a really a true game to show which side could do what, and we were popping off on all cylinders. Defense, we're getting 3 and outs. Offense, we were running the ball, we were passing the ball. Special teams, we had a turnover. So we were just doing great stuff. But to be fair, the Rhinos, they had a decent game. They had a new quarterback in. I wish I could remember his name, but I can't remember it. But he was throwing the ball really well. they were way better passing than when we saw them the first 2 times. So I think if I was the Rhinos, I'd kind of keep an eye on him and see what he can do, because he was fleshing the ball out a good bit, and it looked good. And Jeremy, he's good too. He's going to be a big loss if he's going off to Australia.
Was he not injured?
Or was he? Oh, well, someone was good. I don't know. I thought it was.
I don't know. I just always assume that Jeremy's always injured. Dan, did you see it going this way?
I did see the Vikings coming out on top. I thought the Rhinos would have had a bit more of a fight. From the Mavericks perspective, I was hoping the Rhinos would kind of kick the shit out of these a bit more. But to have a 35-0, that's a pretty good show. Like, you don't get it by luck. That's a good scoreline, especially against an SBC team.
Listen, considering the Rhinos have a really, really good defense, like, you know what I mean? We've been saying it all season that the Rhinos have a really good defense, and they have been one of the teams that's been able to, like, hold you down. Fitting, you know, like, not where you don't put up a big score up against them. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I did expect something different there. Like, I didn't expect a shutout and 35-0.
Yeah, I mean, we did our homework and we watched our film, and we knew what we wanted to do going up against them. So, and we knew what worked from our previous 2 games. So we just exploited that and came out with a good score.
That's simple here. Congratulations on your bowl game, man. On your win to the bowl game. We move on now to the Mavericks against their Crusaders. Dan, where was the big score game here? Like,
that was not to be had. Crusaders, all credit to them. They came out hot. They came out up the gun, wanting to win this game. We just didn't get any traction. We didn't get going, despite the start of the game with Brendan Sims. He's borderline all-star at this point when it comes to kick returns and all the rest of it. We just couldn't get traction. We did get a touchdown and then a field goal to put us 9-up. But the players, they done their homework, fair dues to them. They managed to turn it into a real football game after that. Between their offense coming out and trying stuff on us, and then the defense shut us out in a couple of drives and forced us to punt and have 2 attempts on field goals. Just turned into a good game of football, back and forth.
We were a bit shocked too. We were trying our best to get updates and scores. We were at the sideline of the Giants game, and we were like, "There's no way that game's still 98. There's no chance." And it took us until halfway through the fourth quarter, maybe, of the Giants game.
We had Ian McGuire. He was in.
Ian McGuire.
Keeping us updated into our live stream.
Yeah. And we didn't believe for a second it was still 98 until we got a confirmation and your game was near over. And it was it was a shock, but it was clearly a good game.
Yeah. It would have been one to watch. Like, when you're playing it, you don't see it as much because obviously you're only seeing one side. But I'd say for the spectators that we had, they got one hell of a football game.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Finn, did you see it going this way? You see it being this close?
I was pretty shocked, to be honest, because we put up a good few points against the Crusaders ourselves. Now, granted, Jordan Farrell wasn't playing, and apparently he's one of the best QBs in Ireland, as he said it himself. But I didn't see it being this close. Like 9-8, we were told on the sideline that it was 9-8 at halftime, and then we came back after the game had ended, and we were like, "Oh, what's the score now?" And everybody was saying 9-8, and we were like, "No, like, what's the full time score?" We couldn't believe it, but it was obviously a good game, and Crusaders must have come out with something new. I don't know, but I didn't see it going this way. But
was Jordan Farrell playing, Dan?
He was, yeah. He done a good mix of the run game and the pass game. He had a couple of 15-yarders into the second level. He had a passing touchdown. Worked out really well for him. It was all right.
Well, that's it. Well, here, boys, congratulations on making the bowl game.
That wasn't bad.
Who do you think's going to win?
Us, 100%.
But we'll get to that. Anyway, we're on to the Giants against the Pirates. We'll talk about more about that there later. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited to have both of you on. Giants against the Pirates. The Giants are now into the bowl game against the Eagles. They play on the Saturday, and you guys play on the Sunday. But they are actually playing at your ground, aren't they, Dan?
Yeah, we're hosting it down in Dundalk. We'll be. I don't know if we're reffing it, but we will be doing like the chain crew and stuff. I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were at that game. We were live streaming this game. It was thunder, lightning, everything. So it was good crack. But 22-6, we had touchdowns from Nate Wilson to Kevin Jimimimi. I can't really say that. And then there was a 2-point field after a holding penalty on the initial successful 2-point conversion. Nate Wilson then to Nathan Chapman for a 45-yard passing touchdown, and then Jake McCoy with a 2-point conversion. And then we had a Jake McCoy rushing touchdown from Nate Wilson to Rian Johnston Austin with a 2-point conversion for 22-0. I'm not 100% who scored in the Pirates because they didn't say me anything.
It was a pick six for them. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pick six.
Yeah.
So, Finn, did you see it going this way?
Yeah, kind of. But
yeah,
the Pirates are just struggling. I don't know what to say to them. We've all said it at the Vikings, though, if we ever join another team, it's going to be the Pirates. So if I ever move to Dublin, I'll be joining the Pirates.
Right. What happens if you move down to them?
I'll probably play football.
Wow. Dan, what about yourself?
That's because he wouldn't get in front of Scott, Neil. That's why.
Oh, I bet.
The Pirates credit. They did stick it up. It's always nice to score a defensive touchdown. It's a combo of pick six. It is always good to get that. But no, Giants, I do think just were the stronger team. And especially across all season, they were more consistent. So I did fancy the Giants for that one.
Yeah, the Giants seem to have a solid defense. Like,
They do.
we were there, it seems just very, very solid.
Well, to be fair, every time we looked up and there was a tackle, it was Ross McKenzie was in the bottom of the pile. So.
There. But now to go on to predictions, guys. We've talked about week 16. Now it's on to the main one. Playoffs. Admirals against UCD. Finn, who you got?
It's a tough one, but I think UCD are gaining steam. Like they had a slow start to the season, but they've kind of been getting hot now late when you need to be. So I think they'll just have the edge, but I'd like to see Cork win, being from Cork. So
that's right enough. Yeah. What happens whenever you finish university? Do you go to the Admirals?
I think I'll be a Viking forever. If I can, I'll be a Viking forever. But it all depends on where I end up. But maybe.
That's it. Dan, who you got?
Despite the Admirals' momentum, I'm going to have to go with UCD. You can never write off the underdog, and they seem to pull it out of the bag whenever their back is up against the wall. They always seem to pull something out. So I'd go with them with them.
Going with UCD. Rob, who you get taken? I should be going first because now
No, it's all good, mate. I'm gonna go Admirals. Just their longevity throughout the season, finishing 7-1. I just don't see UCD overcoming that in the playoff game.
I'm trying to remember what UCD's last game was. Does anyone remember?
Was it against the Knights? No.
Yeah, it was 40-0.
Yeah. I think they beat them 50-0, didn't they?
Yeah.
If I remember rightly.
Is this not the same thing that happened last year? Rebels beat UCD, and then UCD beats them in the final.
I'm not 100% sure.
Rebels beat UCD during during the regular season, and then come to the final, they beat them and put up big numbers against the Rebels.
Yeah, I think that was the same last year.
But I'm going to go Admirals because I went for the Panthers last week, and they completely wrecked my decision with that 42-0. Aye. No, this is essentially the team that's going to beat the Rebels. This one?
Force. Lose by less.
So the next game, Rebels against the Trojans. Dan, who have you got?
It's not even to come off, and then to go back to them. Oh, you've got to be thinking some psychotic thoughts to be going back into it. It'd be like jumping back to the lion. It's got to be the Rebels.
100. I'm going to go this time because honestly, you can't. After they just beat them 60-0, and now Trojans have to go down to them and play them after getting beat by them 60-0. So you can't look past them. Like, Finn, who you got?
I don't think there's any surprises that I'll be going with the Rebels. There's nothing more to say really.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't knock. What about you, Rob? Who are you going to go for?
It's the Rebels, mate. I just don't
sure
see
you don't want to think about it for a wee bit longer because
not at all.
We've got time here.
I don't see anyone beating the Rebels this season, to be honest. I know, obviously, UCD got them in the final last year, but the results have been ridiculous this year. So they have.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm going for the Admirals because I don't want to see a repeat of last year. Who wants to see a repeat? The same teams in the bowl. You don't want to see that. You want to see somebody different. Like, so we know the Rebels are going to be there. So we want to see Rebels against Cork in Cork. I think
we should predict whether Rebels are going to score more or less than they did on.
Let's do that. Yes, that's a great idea, Finn. Do you think they'll score more or less than 60 points?
I think they'll maybe 58. It's super close.
You're going 58. I have to write this down now. I'm hitting this in. You're going to go 58. Dan, who are you going for? Or what are you going for?
I'm going to say it's going to be running clock from the kickoff. They won't even wait for it to be a 3-star game. Stick. I'd like to throw at this point. If you score against the Rebels, that's a win. Just to even get a score against them, that's a win. But I'm gonna go for 42-0. I'm gonna go 42 shutout.
42 shutout. Robert.
I'm with Dan, to be honest. I don't think, if it starts getting up to that point where there's a rolling clock, it's 35-0. I don't see why Rebels would keep battering them when they can sort of rest some players and hopefully preserve injuries for the actual SBC, the Shamrock Bowl final. So I'd say probably something similar, about 45-0, something like that, the Rebels.
God. 45, no. Nobody's given Trojans even one touchdown, like.
When was the last time the Rebels conceded a point? It's a good while ago now, wasn't it? 2-3.
UCD maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think they beat the Admirals really badly as well, didn't they?
Beat the Admirals 56-0 or something like that, wasn't it?
Damn! Holy fluff.
So it's
Right, well, I'm going to go for around about 50 something. We'll go 50 something. I'm giving them a touchdown, but they're going to miss the field goal because they're going to go for a 2-point conversion. So they're going to miss that. So I'm going to give them 6. I'm not even giving them the field goal or the extra point.
Fair enough.
So the games that we all really care about, let's be honest here. Now, I know it's not this week, but we need to get we'll talk about this one first because we may as well talk about yours last. Eagles against the Giants. Who you got, Dan?
I'm gonna go for the Eagles on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gut feeling is just the Eagles are gonna put it to them. Like we did say that the Giants' defense is consistent and it's gotten pretty solid as the season's gone on. But it's the offense that's got to put the numbers on the board. So for that, I'll go Eagles.
Eagles. And yourself, Ben?
I hope the Eagles mock the floor with the Giants because the Giants threw up a fuss about coming down to Limerick. So I hope the Eagles mock the floor with them.
Is that why it's in Dundalk, is it?
I think so. I think if the Pirates won that, we would have been playing double header, which is what it's meant to be. I mean, we went to Belfast
Because that's
last
what I
year.
say. It's usually a double header.
Yeah, we went to Belfast last year, and that's like just as long. So
Yeah.
It's a 4-hour journey or something on a bus, probably 4.5, 44, 45 minutes, something like that. So yeah, it's a long one to go up to a bowl game anyway.
I didn't know that. No.
yeah, so
Right.
Eagles.
Eagles, and you want it to be by a country mile.
Yeah.
Robert, who do you think?
I think Eagles as well. From as far as I'm aware, the Eagles O-line haven't given up a sack this season. Is that still a thing? I know they said it in their first 2-3 games.
I think I got sent footage by Conan, the Giants head coach, that showed a sack. So.
Oh right, okay, fair enough. Well, one sack then this season.
So
I don't see them. Yeah, beating them.
Well, I've said it before. I like the Giants, but the Eagles are the Division 2 Rebels. I think they're just going to destroy them. It's just going to be there's a no-brainer to this one. It's like who's going to get beat by the Eagles in the final is the same as who's going to get beat by the Rebels in the final. That's the way it's going to be. So I'm going for the Eagles, and I think it's going to be about 40-0.
That's a big shout.
Yeah.
They played each other twice
I think
this
their
season.
last game was 35-0. I think expect them to go up one extra wee bit yard. That they're going down in the dock.
Fair enough. I didn't think it was that big. I knew the first game they beat them by 20-something 0, but I didn't think they got up into the 30s at one point.
Yeah. Right, well, guys, the main event, the two main men.
Yeah.
Who's going to win this one, Finn?
Gonna have to say Mavericks. No, it's
No.
us
The Jinx.
100%.
That jinxing it.
That was a jinx.
That's jinxing.
Wouldn't it be so funny if you picked the Mavs and Dan picked the Viking?
Yeah,
So who you
just
thinking,
trying
Finn?
trying to avoid the jinx.
Who do you think's going to win and why? That's more put it that way. How about that?
Okay, so I think we're gonna win because if we come out like we came out against the Rhinos, we're just good. The Mavericks it's not going to be an easy match. It's going to be a tough match. But we persevered last time. There's nothing to say we can't do it again. So hopefully it goes our way. And good luck.
Dan, who do you think's going to win?
You live by the Mavs, die by the Mavs. We've been looking for this game a long time now. Since we walked off that pitch, we are getting used in the final. That's to say, even when we went to the Crusaders, they didn't us. We weren't even thinking about them at that stage. It was Limerick coming fit. So if anybody's got free time on Sunday, it's down to the game. So it's going down.
Oh, that's it, man. Now this is going to be the interesting one. Rob, who do you think's going to win?
Who do I call it? To be honest, I haven't really seen much from the. Not to say that you're on a good team, Finn, but I have never seen any footage other than that final last year of you guys playing. Whereas I've played the Mavs. I only played just 3 times last season. I didn't get to play this season because I had to step away. But I think I'm going to go Mavs, to be honest. Personally, I think on the ground, the Vikings offer a lot, but just with like Brandy Sims and that backfield with the ball going in the air and stuff like that, I think he covers the secondary very well. So yeah, I think the Mavs.
Good choice.
What was the score in the last game between you two?
What was it? 13.
12-6.
12-6, I think.
Yeah.
12-6. See, I was going to go the Mavs, right? But now because
I've done it,
you're the Mavs. This way. This why whenever I go last, I can't. My mind goes different. But I'm going to stick with what I thought it was. I'm sorry, Finn, but I think the Mavs are going to take it.
I love that.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I hope that spurs you on. But I think the Mavs are going to take it because I've been saying all year. I don't know if anyone's heard, but wouldn't you think it'd be class if the Mavs lost Division 2 Bowl, but then won Division 1 the next year? I kind of want that prophecy to come true, you know.
You have been saying that all year. To be fair, you mentioned it 3 or 4 times.
I went
last
down
Sunday.
I went down at the Mavs. What do you say?
You mentioned it 3 or 4 times last Sunday as well. You're speaking to Alex Sims.
No, Alex Sims did an impression of me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was pretty damn good. To be fair, he did an impression. Well, don't you think it'd be great? So I'm sorry, Finn. It just seems written in the stars, sort of thing.
No, it's good. It's good.
And you're the man that has to put a stop to that sort of thing. But what would be another good question is who's going to score the most touchdowns between two yous?
Not really, no. On rushing it or throwing it?
Well, rushing because Finn doesn't throw balls. He's a running back.
Are we only counting offense as well, or can I get defensive ones?
I suppose you can get a pick six. Yeah, I'll include that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a touchdown.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
take it.
Dan thinks that Dan's going to get more
Yeah.
touchdowns. Who do you think is going to get more touchdowns, Finn?
I mean, if he's counting his pick sixes,
Right,
surely
to be fair, he'll probably his passing touchdowns can count then if you get a pick six.
in that case, me.
There we go. Robert,
I'm
who
not
do you
picking
think?
it. I'm
I'm
not
loving this. This is great.
I'm not going to throw a pick six.
I'm going to have to.
Oh, is that a statement? You're not going to throw a pick six?
Not to Dan, anyways.
No,
Not over there, but this way.
I'll be a receiving touchdown for Finn just on the Mavericks scoreboard.
That's here, right? So if Finn throws it to Dan, does that count as a passing touchdown for Finn?
Well, look, if he throws it
As
to me,
well.
we'll finally get to see who's the fastest because he'll have to catch me to the end zone.
Oh, here. You know what you need to do? You need a race as well. You need to do a 40-yard dash beside each other too.
Yeah.
Rob, who do you think's going to get the most touchdowns between the two of them?
See, that's an awkward one to call because I picked the Mavs to win, but you're throwing in passing touchdowns for Finn and rushing touchdowns. So on a pick six, it's harder to get in the passing touchdown.
Anything
So
goes
this,
here.
if you're throwing in passing touchdowns, I'd have to go Finn.
At the minute, in terms of rushing touchdowns, Finn has 9 and Dan has 8 in the season.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close. It's pretty
I
close.
mean, it's not bad considering that my QB was taking them for most of the season. So
That's it.
Finn is
Do
that's taken for.
you have a QB at the? Do you have a QB at this one?
Oh, we do indeed.
Yeah.
How many do you want?
You've loads, do you?
Yeah, just a few.
Awesome.
You seen T-Code throwing a ball against the Razorbacks last Sunday? Some of them were ridiculous. That last touchdown was like a 30-yard pass or something.
Yeah.
Right in the basket. Oh, sorry. I was reffing that game, by the way. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. But no, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having both of you on. You have both been awesome sports, and good luck in the bowl game. You You've both been absolutely awesome this season. You know, you've been the teams to watch this year, and it's just class to see the level in Division 1 and how fucking great it is. Like, I mean, nobody would like doubt if you want what either team goes to the SBC, you aren't going to do well on it. Like, you know what I mean? So, congrats and good luck for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that should be a good
Thanks for having us.
That's it. Yeah. Who's going to lift the trophy? Yes, but we'll see you next week, guys, and thank you very much, guys. That's us for another episode of Around the AFI. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Cheers.
Sweet. Bye.